Hello, everybody. My name is Krista Fee, and I just wanted to bring you some of my stories of some of my clients. So, with me today, I have Krista Carson, and we're going to talk a little bit about her experiences with Rise Up Phoenix Academy. So, hello.
Hi.
I
It's
don't share stories very often of my clients because obviously the nature of what we do is so sensitive. So
right.
know that you can say as much as you want or as little as you want. I just want to
Okay.
kind of give people a little bit of an idea what is coaching and what is it like and what kind of things do you come to coaching for? So
Okay.
what brought you to what brought you to the
So, I had a friend who had gone through your coaching program, and he had actually seen a therapist for several years. And he said, you know, uh, what you were able to accomplish with him in a short period of time was life changing. And all of these years that he had seen this therapist, he had not made the progress that he had made with you in I mean, literally just weeks. So at the time, um, give me a sec. Um, my 17-year-old son was battling cancer, and my 19-year-old daughter was really struggling with that as well, among other things. Um, and I just kept telling myself, I just, as long as they're okay, I'm okay. And I did the consultation call because I just was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make this all okay. And during that consultation call, I remember you said something. I mean, you said, you don't pull punches, and you definitely don't. And that was good. And I remember I had said something along the lines of, my son told me that, he jokes around saying that he doesn't need to worry because I worry enough for the both of us. And I kind of took that like, you know, it, it was just his humorous nature. And um, you told me, he's putting it out there like a joke, but he's not joking. And because it's cancer and the type of cancer he had, um, he needs to know that if something were to happen, that I would be okay. And that's not the face I was putting out there to him. I mean, he is okay. We've made it through, at least for the moment. Um, he has scans every 3 months, but it's a disease that likes to come back. So we always have this weight kind of hanging over our head, and it's learning to live with that. Um, and how to live with that. So, that was essentially what brought me there. And then, through our calls, there were so many things I thought that we would talk about, but then it ended up going in different directions. Um, and I learned that I really needed to start setting boundaries in my life, and who I let in my life and how I let them treat me, and the ripple effect that has on my kids, um, because they see me struggling, and they don't want to see me struggle. They want to see me in a good place. And I had been in survival mode for so long. You asked me what I wanted out of my life, and I couldn't even answer that because I couldn't even think of what I wanted. It was just, how do I get through today? Um, so, a lot of what I thought was going to be what we talked about was not what we talked about. Um, but it has led me to a lot of changes and better decisions and boundary setting. And I'm getting really good at that. um, and I've seen some people disappear from my life because of the boundaries that I've set. And I'm okay with that because if they're not okay with me in a good place finally, then they don't need to be part of my life. They should be happy for me.
Right.
Um,
People that are
so,
genuinely in it because they love you and they care about you will be
yeah,
happy when you're growing and when you're comfortable and when you're strong. It's
yeah,
the people that need you weak that
yeah. They were getting something from that. Um, and when they were no longer getting that, they just weren't interested. And that's okay. You know, um, I I have people who support me, and they might not have been the people I thought they would have been. Um, some people have remained, and it's like I know who my tribe really is, and I'm still in the process of figuring out, you know, how to live outside of a survival mode. It's a process. Um, some days are better than others. Um, some days with uh, my son's cancer, the entire time he's going through chemo and radiation, all we wanted to do was be home. And then when we get home and he's through that, people think, oh, it's over. And it's never over. Um, but it's just, you're also very isolated because at the hospital, everybody understands what you're going through because they're going through it. And, finally you're home and you're not at the hospital every week or every other week, but you also don't have people who understand what it's like to have a child that has cancer. And you're glad for that because you wouldn't want anybody to understand that. But it is incredibly isolating. Um, so, you know, it's still a process. There's still some days that are survival mode. Um, but there's also a lot of better days and behaviors that I have changed to be more supportive for my kids because I'm able to think beyond just this moment. I'm able to take the deep breaths that I need to take and refocus and center. And so, I'm a work in progress and forever will be. But, I like the progress that I've made and I like the direction that I'm heading. So I couldn't have said that a year ago.
So do you think the process has been bigger than you? Do you think coaching for you has helped your family?
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. I've been open with them, and we're a pretty tight unit, the three of us. Um, I've shared with them. I'm like, okay, so this is what I learned today. And, you may notice that I'm doing some things differently. And, it's a good thing. So it's just different. And I need you to understand that some things are going to be different. Um, but it's for my betterment. And they want nothing more than to see me in a good place. Just like I want to see them in a good place. It goes both ways. And I guess I never really had thought about it that way. It was, I'm a mom, so I make sure that they're okay. But they're worried about me being okay just as much as I'm worried about them being okay. And I wasn't. And they saw it.
Yeah, a
And
big
they see
part of
that,
our work was helping you to recognize that you're a part of the equation.
yeah, yeah. And I've also noticed that they're starting to handle things a little differently. Like they're picking up on some of the things that I've been doing. And, so I guess they've kind of learned through my learning. And it's it's been a healthy change for all of us. And, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely improved my family. Um, it definitely has. Um, you know, Again, not every day is great. Not every day is something that is all unicorns and you know whatever. But it's a learning process, and I'm still learning. And but I would say, where we stand now versus where I was a year ago. Not just because we're out of my son's treatment, although that was a lot. That was a whole lot to handle without breaking. You know, I learned that I can bend a whole lot, but it I didn't break.
We're wounded,
And
we're not broken.
yeah, so you know, there's just been a lot of good that has come out of it. And there honestly, my son's diagnosis has been the catalyst for a lot of different things. Um, Not just this, but the time we've spent together and have grown closer. And so, I think I'm starting to see things in a different light. And I'm looking for those silver linings that are always there. I just didn't look for them before. I just assumed that those silver linings existed for others, but not for me.
So
So,
when we started, did you believe that you could get to where you are now?
mm,
You see the positive possibilities in the beginning.
no, I honestly, I kind of was like, I'll give this a shot, but I don't know, sorry, I'm outside and there are bugs. um, I don't know. I guess I just thought that better life was for more positive people than I am. Um, I thought I was more pessimistic and like, I had gone to like a therapist before and it just, I'm not usually a person that likes to share a whole lot about myself. And of course, you have to if you want to change and you want to improve certain things. You have to tell people what's wrong. So I didn't foresee that this is where I would be at this point. Um, and you've been great in terms of, allowing me the flexibility, especially while we were going through treatment, um, to go at a pace because it was just so crazy. I remember there was one time we were supposed to have a one-on-one call and we were at the hospital. So I just thought, well, I'll go outside, when I scheduled the call and go across the street where there was like this quiet place. But then it was pouring down rain. And I'm like, well, I can't do that now. So, um, you know, you've been incredibly understanding and have sort of let the path go where it's gone instead of saying, well, this is what you wanted to do. You've just sort of kind of, I guess, let me drive the bus, and wherever it went, you were there to work me through it. Um,
An important point in that you are the we create your pathway together, but you are the creator of your own healing journey. And I think that that's something most people don't know.
yeah,
And most people don't understand that in this container, it's about your safety, it's about your growth, it's about how where you want to go. And
hmm
that can change frequently. So my job here to support you is to be really flexible to where you are in any given moment and to provide the tools and resources and support that you need where you are right now
yeah,
when you are ready for those moments of change.
yeah.
So that's a really really important point. What would you say to a friend who was going through some struggles about coaching with me? What would be your explanation to someone who was like, what is this all about? Do I want to do this?
I
This is something I need.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, I have said this to several people. I'm like, you absolutely need to do the consultation. I said it's impossible to completely describe. Um, but if you do that, half-hour consultation, like you will see and you'll get what I'm telling you when I say that it that Krista has the ability to absolutely help you change your life into how you want your life to be. Um, you know, she's not going to define it for you, but she's going to support your journey there. And, um, but, I said, there's some exercises that are not comfortable, um, that, you kind of wonder at the beginning, like, why the heck am I doing this? But, okay, I'm committed to this, so I'm going to do this. And then later on, you see where all of the pieces come together. And so, it, that's actually what I've told friends. It's like there are parts of this where you're going to be like, "What on earth?" you know. But I'm like, you literally just have to roll with it, and it does come together eventually. You just have to commit to doing the stuff that's not comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so,
Piece
but
this.
yeah, uh, a couple of people, and you know, I honestly I haven't asked, whether they have made the call or not. The one person that I'm thinking about in particular that was most recently, I'll see her on Saturday. We have our class reunion, so um, I'll actually probably talk to her then and say, have you made that consultation call yet? Because, you know, you're worth you're worth it. Like, you can keep going on this hamster wheel, or you can get off of it and change some things. And like, she is the one that will help you do that.
Change is possible.
Yeah. And healing is possible. Um,
But it's
no
not
matter. No,
always
no. Uh-uh.
it's
Not at
relatively
all.
simple, but it isn't easy.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. There have been moments, um, and where it's been a struggle. Um, but I don't know. I always know, like in the back of my head, you're there, you know. And I'm thinking of that one call not that long ago. I think it was the only time I've ever not had a scheduled call with you, and I messaged you, and I was like, "Are you available?" And I think within 10 minutes we were on a call. And so like, I know I'm not alone on this journey. Um, that you are there, and you're not always going to tell me what I want to hear, but that's good, because if you're going to tell me just what I want to hear, then nothing in my life is going to change. So you tell me what I need to hear.
I'm glad you said that, because most of the time when I see people put referrals out or put out these conversations that they have their clients tell everybody how amazing they are and what results they got, I really wanted this to be raw and real, and want people to come to me understanding that uh, that it's not about me telling you how to fix everything, that
Hmm.
it's about us together creating a process for you that works for you in your life, and
Yeah.
it's going to get you from point A to point B. But I'm not going to tell you what that is for you. I'm not going to tell you what you want. You have to figure that out
Hmm.
for yourself. I can ask you really great questions that are going to help you get there.
Yeah.
But it's not for me to tell you what your answers are.
Right.
And I have so
Yeah.
many tools and resources that nobody ever gets the same, like, exact package all the time. But I really want people to know that I am not going to hold your hands. I'm not going to completely say the things you want me to say. I'm here to
Mhm.
support you and help you grow and to help you have confidence, but I'm not going to stroke your ego and just make you feel good. That's not what
Right.
I'm here for. I'm
Yeah.
here so that you feel good for real and have confidence for real and build yourself up in a way that is sustainable, so that when the challenges of life come, you're
Yeah.
able to cope with them, to tolerate them. It's not a false rainbows and unicorns world that we're
Right.
creating. It's not happy, think positive,
No.
everything's going to fall into place if you just will it
Yeah.
into being. Um,
Yeah.
we're not in that world. We're in brain science. Let's rebuild. Let's tear things down. Let's get
Yeah.
ugly and dirty and cry and clean
Yeah.
this. We're going to open some wounds. We're going to clean them out, and we're going to
Yeah.
start building a stronger, more capable you.
I was just thinking, there were times where it's like you were ripping the scabs off the wounds, but you have to get to the root of it and to heal right,
Yeah.
you know. So no, parts of this have not been an easy process at all, but it's been a necessary process.
And I like to think that I'm supportive and gentle enough about it that
Yeah.
even though it's hard, that I can give you what you need in those moments. But those moments are not pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? The damage that was done that got you there in the first place wasn't pretty either, and then you end up just living there. And so it's just like time to stop living in those places and learn how to live where you want to be. So, and it's scary. at times. But, the fact that I know you're there and you're a part of this journey. And, when I have that triggering moment, um, and I reached out, you were there in a heartbeat. Um, so, you know, there has been a lot of good change. I'm still working on a lot of things and on the journey to healing, but I'm better than I was. I'm better than I was yesterday and the day before. I'm better than I was last year. And the progress is evident. And there are still some tough days, and there will always be tough days, but how I handle them is different now.
It's interesting you
So,
said it exactly that way because I had someone, a marketing expert, tell me more and better is not something you can sell to people. People don't understand more and better. And I'm like, but more and better is what I do every day, a little bit better, every day, a little bit more happiness. Like, I don't
yeah.
sell I don't sell an illusion. I don't sell a false promise. I sell more and
Mm-mm.
better. So I was like, how do I do this the right way? How do I market what I do? How do I tell people what I give them? Because we're supposed to give, what is a measurable, quantifiable thing that I can promise people? And I was like, no, what I can promise people is more and better.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the
I'm
reality of it. What we're doing is more and better.
Yeah. I mean, you're giving people the tools to be able to, make the changes. Um, so, as I learn how to use those tools, it improves, so it is a process for sure. It's not like, you snap your fingers and one day it's all better. I'm still learning the tools and improving my ability to use them. Um, and, that's why I think, each day is more. And, you run across a situation that doesn't happen every day, but how I handle it now versus how I would have handled it last year, way different, hugely different. The people I let in my life and how I let them treat me, um, and the example that I set for my kids as to what you should allow, um, is different.
So now I'm going to
So,
ask the crazy question. How valuable is what we've done been to you?
okay, so I'm not able to measure that. um, you know, it's, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. They say that there's patterns and, you learn things from your parents and some things are cyclical and sometimes you have to break that cycle. And I'm breaking some of that cycle. And, I have now a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old. So they're not little kids. They've seen some of the way I had handled things, and I can see in them some of the way that I used to handle things. But I think they're seeing the difference in me and they're making the difference in them. And so when they have their own families, some of what they may have struggled with or handled one way is going to be different now because it's changing me, it's changing them. It's just going to improve. everybody that, you know, is touched in our lives. You know, it'll be just even how you know, friends, not just my kids, you know, friends, other family members. It's just immeasurable, the impact. And
I know you're gonna make me cry.
but yeah, I mean, I think it's generational. At least in my case, it's generational. And how do you measure that? You
Thank
know?
you so much for being brave enough to come out here and to speak your truth and to
Mm,
share what we do together
yeah,
on this journey so that other people can maybe get a little understanding of what this crazy coaching world is and what more and better means. I
yeah.
appreciate you so much.
Oh no, I thank you. I would still be stuck on that hamster wheel if it weren't for you. So I appreciate what you've done for me and the impact that it's had on my kids.
And we're going to
Mm,
just keep doing it.
yeah,
More and better
absolutely.
every day.
Every day more and better.
All right.
So thank you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Okay.